What is your purpose? Man, I know that's a crazy question. And maybe we could even be more specific. Like, what's the bigger purpose that you're creating content on YouTube for? If you're a business owner, what is the purpose and the big vision for which your company exists? In this video, I'm actually going to be talking about our purpose here at Think Media, why we exist, and we're actually hiring and we're looking for purpose-driven leaders and content creators. And if you want to inquire about some of the open positions as well as a paid internship that we're doing, you could go to workwiththink.com for all of the details. But I've never really gotten real and raw about our purpose and the urgency of the work we're doing at Think Media and why we're even hiring right now and seeking to expand our company. And if you're new to our content, and whether you're watching this on a YouTube channel or on our audio podcast, you know, our purpose statement or our mission statement is we want to help 10,000 purpose-driven people create a full-time living doing what they love while making a difference in the world with online video. Sometimes we a lot of times leave this last part off, but we also want to help people achieve that success without losing their soul. Because a lot of people in the influencer and YouTube entrepreneur space sometimes achieve success and popularity and fame, but because there's a lack of character, they end up in a crash. Sometimes your chemistry, or rather, sometimes your charisma, can take you farther than your character can keep you. And so it is our heart that sometimes the skill sets needed. There's a lot of burnout amongst content creators, a lot of burnout amongst entrepreneurs, a lot of burnout inside of companies. And so we are trying to achieve big things, but also achieve that success without losing our soul. But there goes a lot deeper than that. And actually, I really wanted to make this video and just kind of share some thoughts with you and this audio that I just wrote down about, like, man, what really are we fighting for here at Think Media? And maybe if you're curious about, man, where does Sean stand? Where's the team stand? What's the point of Think Media? What's the vision they're going after? This will maybe give you some handles on the nuances of our mission. And really, we exist to help people. And right now, people need more help than ever before. You know, there's some really discouraging stats, but this is the truth of the world we're living in, especially as we are going into 2022. A new study from Lancet estimates that depression rose by 53 million globally as a consequence of the pandemic. That's 28% above pre-pandemic levels. And cases of anxiety are 76 million. That's a 26% rise. People need help. That right now, with what's happening in the world, people need help. And we believe that YouTube is one of the ways for us to help people, but also for the people we're educating and inspiring. They need to get their message out to help more people. In the United States, a phenomenon dubbed as the Great Resignation seems to be picking up speed. A record 4.3 million US workers quit their jobs in August, according to new data from the Labor Department, a figure that expands to 20 million if you measured back to April. Job displacement, people without jobs, people being pushed out of their jobs by new policies. Consumer prices rose at the fastest pace in 30 years for September, according to the Wall Street Journal. Nearly 2/3 of Americans describe the economy as poor in a new poll that comes amid high inflation and supply chain turmoil. In fact, inflation is growing faster than wages. Additionally, President Biden recently said that any country that out-educates us will out-compete us. Now, you might be watching this from anywhere in the world, but I'm not just viewing that from a US only perspective. I'm just viewing that any business, any individual, any competitor in your line of work that is out educating, that is out learning you, they're also going to outcompete you. And I believe that the education system here in America is failing. And those relying on the system are discovering that the system is failing. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. If you're listening to this, you might be like, dear God. But like, meanwhile, creators, many who have found fame on YouTube and TikTok, are struggling with mental health issues. Burnout has affected generations of social media creators. People are leaving platforms. They're saying they feel depressed and discouraged. Creators have huge skill gaps in leadership, emotional intelligence, money management, and character development that is resulting in pressure that is breaking their marriages, shattering their mental health, and leaving them stuck and sometimes worse off than when they started. Friend, people need help right now. Like, society needs help, and the system is failing them. And people are looking for answers, and they're looking for alternatives. Broken systems and broken ideologies and flawed solutions are not solving these problems. So why does Think Media exist? Why are we on this mission? This is why we're on this mission, because our cause is urgent. And here's 6 things of what we're hoping to accomplish at Think Media. Number 1, we are calling people out of complacency and into courage. Right now, with all of the negativity and culture, there's a temptation to hide, to go on defense, and to be complacent. And we're saying, no, you got to come out of complacency and step out in courage. We're not saying it's going to be easy. Reinventing yourself and learning a new skill set is not going to be easy, but you can either get pulled down with the tide of culture right now, or you can rise up in courage. And as a team and as a company and in our content and in our videos and in our audio and in our events, we are calling people out of complacency and into courage. 2, we are calling influencers to realize that charisma and popularity without character will eventually lead to a crash. What's funny is there's a lot of negative aspects of social media and influencer culture, but I'm not here cursing the darkness. I'm here trying to light a match. I love YouTube. I love social media. I love the opportunity that affords us. But the social dilemma is that there's also a lot of destructive attributes of social media that if you don't master it, it can master you. And not only that, that many people I've watched now, being in this industry over years, vloggers come and vloggers go because their marriages blew up, because it leaked, because of habits and destructive things that happened. And this is not coming from a place of judgment. This is coming from a place that I can relate to, as I've had struggles over the years. Because how the heck do you deal with the pressures of fame and the pressures of being in public and the pressures of the negative comments and the pressures of haters and the mental pressure of trying to just keep it going and will this exist tomorrow? I'm saying, if you don't have the character, then if you are full-time on YouTube, or if you are a part of a high growth company, if that charisma and popularity and money without character will eventually lead to a crash. And we feel it as part of our calling and our mission at Think Media is to help leaders and content creators and digital media specialists and people that are customer service professionals and all the different attributes of at Think, that character is our one of our highest values. Maybe you heard our episode where it's the first C out of our 5 C's, and that without it, eventually we're going to lead to a crash. We've seen too many popular influencers. We've seen too many pastors and too many best-selling authors blow up their marriages, blow up their churches, blow up their lives because their character broke. We want to experience success without losing our soul. And so we feel that our cause is urgent at Think Media. 3, our education system is broken and people don't know where to find real guidance and build real skills that matter in the new economy. This is why our company exists. There's 2 kinds of teachers out there. There's real ones and there's fake ones. Fake teachers are people that teach a framework, they teach a system, they describe how to do something, and they've never done it themselves. Real ones are people who can teach the framework, teach how to do it from their own experience because they've done it themselves. Think Media culture is we are obsessed with being player coaches. That means that we don't just teach the thing, we live the thing and we do the thing. There's too many professors and there's too many teachers, and respect to the real ones that have done it, respect to the real ones, but there's just too many of the education system that are teaching theories and hypothesis, but haven't been in the trenches, or the last time they were in the trenches was 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Not only that, there's so many just outdated models in the education system. Meanwhile, there is a movement and a revolution happening through online education, through YouTube, through people being able, because the gatekeepers are gone and they no longer have to be locked away in a university hall, but that we can actually freely give real guidance that builds real skills that matters in the new economy. With the amount of job loss and displacement of jobs, and with people needing to learn things that actually work, and methodologies for building online income, for building online businesses, for becoming strong leaders, for building, packaging their education into the online course movement, or the affiliate marketing movement, or YouTube, or the creator economy, which is exploding, or influencer and brand deals. People need real guidance. And we are obsessed with being player coaches, with bringing the best of the best on our platforms and to our events. We are an education company, and the information we have matters more than ever before. And this is why we're convicted that we need to get it into as many people's hands as possible. Our mission is urgent. Number 4, we are helping people find purpose and peace. We're helping people reconnect with God and discover that life is a miracle in the midst of a culture that is telling them mankind evolved from primordial soup. Now, maybe you didn't know I was about to take it there, and you say, well, is this really, how's Think Media doing that? But I just mean, our conviction at Think Media is that we were created by God for a purpose, on purpose, and that life is a miracle. And there's a whole narrative telling people that they just evolved from primordial soup. And you know what's interesting is the co-discoverer of DNA, Francis Clark, admitted the origin of life, and I quote from his book, seems to almost be a miracle. So many are the conditions which would have had to have been satisfied to get it going. He continues, to postulate that the development and survival of the fittest is entirely a consequence of chance mutations seems to me a hypothesis based on no evidence and irreconcilable with the facts. These classic evolutionary theories are a gross oversimplification of an immensely complex and intricate mass of facts, and it amazes me that they are swallowed so uncritically and readily and for such a long time by so many scientists without a murmur of protests. This is a quote from his book published by Simon and Schuster. So here's my thing. This is not a religious or political debate. It's just the mission Think Media is on, is we are helping people find purpose and peace. And from our point of view, we are saying people were created by God for a purpose. We're not an overly religious company and helping people find cameras and find, how to do YouTube. We're not trying to over spiritualize practical skill sets that people need to build, but that is where we're coming from. And there is a narrative that is against that truth woven into scientific fact. And this is why our mission is urgent, because we see others that have just as much free speech as we do, that have a different ideology that I believe does not lead to health and longevity over the long haul, but is actually destructive. And so this is why we show up to work at Think Media. Number 5, our culture is in a crisis of confusion, depression, and overwhelm. And weak policies of weak institutional leaders are actually contributing to the disempowerment of people. And we refuse that narrative. We exist to empower people, build leaders, and to educate and inspire. We exist to wake people up and show them that freedom is waiting for them. What do I mean? It's true. Our culture is more confused than ever before, more depressed than ever before, more overwhelmed than ever before. And we are witnessing that institutional leaders are actually contributing to the disempowerment of people, not the empowerment of people. See, institutional leaders who are fat with greed, obsessed with self-preservation, and perpetuating a system of dependency on themselves is leading to people being disempowered. Meanwhile, this is what we do at Think. We freely give and serve people with real tools, real truth, and real guidance that leads to real freedom. Now, of course, well, Sean, you have a book for sale. You have online courses. We do. But do you know, we post 10 free videos a week. We post all over social media. Free game being published on all kinds of platforms. And not only that, we Our most expensive online course is 1/50th or 100th of a university or college. If you're going to be a doctor, you probably should go to college. But when you consider the amount of education and step-by-step guidance that we give people, listen, not to just build our empire, but to build and empower them to be sent out. Institutional leaders and countries and many ideologies are actually trying to make people dependent on themselves. We are trying to help people understand that they are free to build themselves, to go build. That's why so many people, we get so many testimonies, we get so many stories of people that have been impacted by Think Media, and they're already going to do the work. They're going to be change agents and change makers. We do not want anyone to be dependent on Think Media. We are not trying to gather all until Think Media. Think Media is not the center of the universe. We see ourselves as a part of the solution. And those obsessed with greed and self-preservation that are perpetuating a system of dependency upon themselves, they're part of the problem. We don't seek to control people. We seek to empower and release people. By the way, that's also the culture of our team. I hope that our culture is so healthy and that people love working at Think Media so much that they do want to stay working for Think Media. But we want to build leaders, period, because the world needs leaders. We want to build change agents and freedom fighters, period, because the world needs people fighting for freedom and truth. And so we're not trying to control anybody. We just hope to add value, serve, build people up, and that if people come from Think Media and use our platform as a launching pad and use our culture as a place of development so that they can be released to be change agents in culture, we say, let's do it. See, this isn't about Think Media. It's about a bigger movement of freedom fighters who refuse to capitulate to a broken system and broken ideologies. So, friend, this is why we need to get the Think Media content and information into as many hands as possible. Why am I saying all this? Because I'm speaking to you specifically, if you want to be a part of our team, what's the conviction? What is our purpose? If you want to go to workwiththink.com, if you want to intern in our paid internship, this is the urgency of what we feel convicted to do here at Think Media. We need to get our content and information into the hands of as many people as possible. So this is why we want to master social media and get our podcast into as many people's hands as possible. And hear me, I'm not speaking from a self-righteous pedestal. Sean, you clearly also want to build your brand to make sales of your books or your products, or you want to sell tickets to your event. Yeah, because I believe in it with my whole heart. I believe in what we're teaching. I believe in the value that we give. I believe in the stories that we've received. I believe in the countless. We are in detail studying the success of our students. We don't just throw out platitudes and just think, oh, the impact. No, we have our staff is measuring in Monday.com. We're adding up how many views we've helped our students get. We're adding up how many people are earning their first $100 online, their first $4,000 online, their first $10,000 a month, by the way, online. And we're studying that data. We have countless pictures of people with their silver play buttons. We have countless pictures of people. And then it's not only the people we're impacting, but the people they're impacting. We just think we're one small piece, the small piece of a much bigger movement of people that want to see change and want to see good and want to see this world become a better place, and that want to oppose evil forces in this world and be freedom fighters for good. So you better believe we think our content's important. And you better believe we want to build a team of strong people who are excellent at what they do, because we want to master these channels of communication to get our content into the hands of as many people as possible. This is why we don't fear being misunderstood. If you made it this far in this video and you're like, man, you know, who does this guy think he is? I understand that you misunderstood. You just might be if this is the first video you see, be like, what's this guy on, man? What's this energy? I get it. I'm not afraid of being misunderstood. I'm not afraid of the haters. I'm not afraid of the fact that people are judging by headlines every single day. If you watch any 5 minutes of somebody, or just one podcast of somebody, or just one moment of somebody, anything could be taken out of context. But we're not afraid of being misunderstood. We're not going to let a fear of being misunderstood or misinterpreted stop us or silence our voice. We're going to shout even louder. See, this is why we don't fear opposition. This is why we don't fear if you try to do anything, you're going to face opposition. We're not afraid of that. We understand it comes with the territory. The only people who don't face opposition is the people who don't do anything. So we're not afraid of it. This is why we are going harder than ever before at Think Media, because we are seeing that things are heating up in the world and they're not cooling down. And that more than ever before, people need this. Again, people need ways of making money. People need education on taxes. People need education on saving and being responsible. People need to overcome their vices that are like overspending or like spending unwisely or like spending on dumb stuff, and investing in wisdom so that they can adapt and evolve and develop the necessary skill sets to survive and thrive in the new economy. With inflation rising and with job loss and with careers being disrupted and with people working from home and with people moving and with all of the health challenges and with rising competition and with rising censorship and with rising whatever, things are heating up. They're not cooling down. So leaders, we got to get equipped. We got to get skills. We got to get a vision. We got to get discipline. We got to get moving. This is why it's so urgent, the work we're doing at Think Media. This is why we are freely flooding the internet with truth, value, joy, strategy, love, and wisdom, because destiny demands that we play our part and make our mark on history. Freely flooding the internet. A lot of people say, Sean, your free content is better than most people's paid content. This is why we are obsessed with, it's not easy. That doesn't come because we just sort of wing it and throw out some content. This is why we are obsessed with going to deep places of study, mastering our craft, the Japanese concept of kaizen and continuous improvement. This is why we're obsessed with excellence. This is why, because it's out of service. Because on top of that, then we post videos. And thank God that we can monetize free content in a lot of different ways. Think about the era we're in. That millions of people watch our free content. And we have YouTube ads and brands pay us so that we can make free content. Of course, on top of that, it gets even better and goes even deeper with our paid content. But we're serving people at all kinds of different levels. But our conviction to freely flood social media platforms, YouTube, to put out free value on the internet, that's true. That's truly valuable. That's truly strategic. To share our joy and strategy, and to share, we hope it comes across, authentic love that we care about you. Like legitimately, if you never buy a book or a course or click an affiliate link, and if you never join the team, but if all you do is just listen to this content and it inspires you or provokes you to action or causes you to dream bigger or causes you to reject apathy, to step out of complacency and to step into courage, and you're listening to this for free right now, then our job is done. And we just want to make that mark on history. We hope we can make that mark on your life. And by the way, the reason we're trying to build a profitable company is because we need money for the mission, because this mission matters. So yes, unashamedly, we are trying to make more money, because guess what? It allows us to hire more people, because guess what? It allows us to expand more places, because guess what? It allows us to invest in commercial real estate or office spaces or places to work or multiple states or a global movement. We're asking ourselves, I don't know how far this thing will go, but as leaders, we are saying, how far can we go together? How big can we dream together on the Think Media team? I'll tell you this, I'm a small town kid, college dropout. 10 years ago, I'm in Marysville, Washington, living in a house that in the bubble burst. We were dual income. Sonia's health, my wife, is devastated. Medical bills are piling up and we can't make our house payments. So the house eventually short sells. This is after the big short. My church just blew up. I was on a church staff making like no money anyways. And some senior leaders' character issues. This is where this fire comes from, because I've got to witness enough movements crumble and leaders crumble because they didn't deal with insecurity and they didn't deal with character issues and they didn't get healthy relationships around them. And they let ego and pride go to their head, and they let an incredible thing. They let a thing that was like guaranteed to never stop. I've watched movements that like just a few moves ahead there was nothing but blessing ahead, but character caused a crash, or a lack of character caused a crash. So the church is breaking down and we're in financial devastation. And my wife's health, she almost died in 2009. In 2010, she's in recovery. We have no prospects of the future, but we're staying optimistic. I'm posting YouTube videos trying to figure it out. I'm doing my business, Clear Vision Media. I'm waiting tables at Red Robin. And you want to think that I would think I'd be making this video right now? Was this the mission at the time? No, this was not the mission at the time. The mission at the time was survival. Like, the mission at the time was like, I don't know, is it possible to make money online? Like, Sean, where did this all come from? This has come because we are continue to ask ourselves as we reach new heights, man, how far can we go? How much difference can we make? As we continue to have bigger breakthroughs, we want to continue to give back and expand and reinvest in the business and reinvest in mission and reinvest in people. That's why we're hiring. But can you imagine sitting in my seat right now as I record this video podcast and just, I don't even, it's crazy. It's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, what the heck, man? You know what I mean? It's 2021. We're going into 2022. And 11 years later, I'm like, Think Media is 18 people. What the heck? I look at our team. I look at the stories that are getting submitted every day. We have team meetings and we talk about the success students. We talk about the DMs we're getting. We talk about the changed lives. We talk about the people being inspired. All I'm trying to say is, how far can we go? And this is why I'm asking, how do we scale it more? How do we flood the internet with more truth, more value, more joy, more strategy? How do we do more? And not how do we do more and burn out? How do we share the load by building a community and gathering a community of leaders that can do more? Because I believe and feel called that destiny demands that we play our part and make our mark on history. We don't think we're bigger fish than we are. We think we're actually really just a small group of people, who love life, who love God, and want to use our gifts and talents to live up to our God-given potential, to serve others, to educate, to share the knowledge we've gained, the wisdom we've gained, to pass it along that others could go further faster. And we do that on like 10 different levels. Free YouTube video podcast. Want to get a book? Got new books coming out. Want to come to an event? We do free events. We do free meetups. We do paid events. Want to get a course? Got courses at different price points. Want to come to a mastermind? We're helping business leaders at higher levels that are trying to figure out how to go from 6 figures to multiple 6 figures, more money for the mission. We're trying to figure out people trying to break the 7-figure lid at every level. It's just this customer journey. That's the same journey we've been on ourselves. And we're just asking ourselves, how can we do more and make our mark on history? This is why we do what we do. Are you getting value out of this? Is this too heavy? I mean, this is our purpose. I hope this is inspiring you to think about your purpose. And this is why we're looking for purpose-driven leaders and content creators. As I land the plane, number 6, this isn't about Think Media, or I don't know what number I'm on. This is why we are being more focused and strategic and disciplined than ever before, because we do work that matters. And so I know this is crazy, but we're looking for purpose-driven leaders and content creators. This is why we're going through another round of hiring, workwiththink.com. But this is also why we're doing something we've never done before, and we're doing a paid internship. And I don't know where you are in life. You might already be established in your career. You might be in a situation where, a minimum wage internship is not quite, meet your needs right now. But wherever you are in the journey, if you'd say, man, I resonate with this, what is the point of it all? We have a couple full-time positions, but the point of the internship is about a 30-day trial. If you qualify, if there's a vibe there and we start, we can synergize up to 6 months. And then at 6 months, either you've learned a lot and you've helped us and you've grown and you've been a part of what we're doing, or you'll get hired on the team. So it's an internship with the possibility of joining Think Media full-time. And so you could see details at workwiththink.com. But if your heart's burning to say, like, man, I just resonate with, I've maybe always wanted to be a part of Think, or man, I would love to be a content creator or a Think personality, or I'd love to, bring my sales skills or my customer relation skills or my event management, or I'd love to, I just want to lead. I'm just passionate. I'm hungry. I'm willing to learn. And it's open to living in Vegas is great. We're really looking for interns that live in Vegas. We're looking for interns that want to move to Vegas or that want to work remote. And there's certainly the opportunity to do digital marketing and social or video editing and things like that. And you don't have to necessarily live here local. But our vision, man, is we really do feel like we're purpose driven. This is the purpose. The world is in a lot of crisis, but we're not cursing the darkness. We're trying to light a match. The world has a lot of challenges right now. We're not trying to overly complain about the problems. We're just trying to bring solutions. And we believe that the pursuit of wisdom and that growing as leaders and that developing character and developing relevant skill sets will be a part of the solution to the world's problems. That there needs to be more good online, and there needs to be more leaders in culture. There needs to be more leaders in their nonprofits and churches and businesses and independent content creators. And we need more people that are fighting for freedom and fighting for good in this world. I think media is just trying to do our part. So if you want to check out details, go to workwiththink.com. If you're watching this someplace where you can leave a comment, I'm curious, did you get anything out of this? Drop a comment. And did this resonate with you? Did this inspire you? And I also hope to put some handles on this question for you. What's your purpose? What is the bigger purpose you're fighting for? What is it you hope to build with your business, with your YouTube channel, with your content, with your personal brand, as a speaker, as an author, as a real estate agent, like whatever you're doing? This is the real reason why Think Media exists. And this is our vision as it continues to unfold and the purpose for which we fight. And friends, I think it's urgent and the work we do is needed. Our current team is on a mission together, and it could be that you are needed as well. And but I mean, we definitely need people. We need leaders. Resonates with you. Go to workwiththink.com and apply. Did you see thinkmediasale.com? For the holidays, we're giving you 80% off our brand new YouTube Made Simple course bundle. Get over $1,900 worth of our best courses, tools, templates, and more. Just go to thinkmediasale.com.